Actor Julian McMahon, known for his starring roles in Nip Tuck and the 2000s Fantastic Four movies, died Tuesday in Clearwater, Florida.
McMahon had privately been battling cancer. He was only 56 years old.
The recent news about Julian McMahon, an actor whose work, well, it brought a lot of joy to so many of us, I think.
Definitely.
We've been looking through the sources, People Magazine, reports from Deadline, to really try and understand what stands out about his life, his journey.
Well, and that's the thing, isn't it? A public figure like him, their story isn't just, it's not just about the screen roles.
No.
It's about the whole picture behind the scenes, too. How that can give us, maybe unexpected ways of looking at careers, life, legacy.
That's what we want to explore, guide you through what the sources are telling us.
Exactly. The links between maybe the public face and the private person.
And, looking through these articles, the first thing that really stops you is the main news.
Yeah.
His passing at just 56 years old.
It's incredibly young.
It really is. Hits hard for anyone who followed his work over the years.
That's the difficult news our sources confirmed. Deadline reported it.
Yeah.
Julian McMahon passed away on Wednesday, July 2nd.
This week.
Just this week, yeah. In Clearwater, Florida.
Okay.
And the thing that kept coming up, what was really emphasized everywhere, was that it followed a private cancer battle.
Right.
His wife, Kelly, confirmed that detail. And, the fact he dealt with something so significant away from the spotlight, it does add a layer, doesn't it?
It really does. And Kelly, his wife, she released this just incredibly powerful statement on Friday, July 4th. Deadline carried it.
Yes, I saw that.
She said, and I'm quoting her here, "With an open heart, I wish to share with the world that my beloved husband, Julian McMahon, died peacefully this week after a valiant effort to overcome cancer."
Wow. Such direct, heartfelt words.
They really are. Speak volumes.
They absolutely do. And what's fascinating there, I think, is how her words seem to capture, well, maybe both his personal side and that public persona.
Both.
Well, she went on to describe it, didn't she? She said he loved life, family, friends, his work, and she specifically mentioned his fans.
Yeah, the fans. That stood out.
And then she shared what she called his deepest wish. Again, quoting her, to bring joy into as many lives as possible.
That phrase, bring joy.
Think about that, wanting to bring joy while, as we now know, fighting this private battle. It kind of reframes his whole career, maybe.
Yeah, the choices he made, the impact he had.
It suggests this really deep internal drive.
It does make you think differently about the roles, doesn't it? Especially considering that desire for joy. His career was incredibly varied. TV, film.
Oh, absolutely. He wasn't just one thing.
He moved between these charming characters and then really complex, sometimes dark figures.
That's a great point. On TV, you have Dr. Christian Troy.
Nip Tuck.
Iconic, totally. Ryan Murphy's series ran 2003 to 2010. Often morally gray, that character.
Gray.
But also, about transformation, making people feel, well, different at least.
True. And then completely different, you had Cole Turner on Charmed.
Right. Love interest for Alyssa Milano's character, Phoebe, 2000 to 2005.
That was pure charm, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Definitely brought joy to a lot of fans of that show.
For sure. A very different kind of energy.
And beyond those really big defining roles, he also led FBI Most Wanted on CBS for a while.
He did. Led that show. And when he announced he was leaving, that was back in January 2022.
I remember that.
He put out a statement then saying he was extremely proud of the work we have done together.
Okay.
And he actually said he put the show and his character Jess at the top of my professional experience list.
Wow, that's high praise.
It really is. Suggests, a real connection to that work too, even in a procedural. It fits with that idea of dedication, finding purpose in the craft.
It's quite a range, from Charmed to Nip Tuck to FBI. Most Wanted. He definitely avoided being typecast.
It really did.
And most recently, TV-wise, there was The Residence on Netflix.
Right, though that one was unfortunately canceled after its first season.
Yeah. And then on the film side, he went big villain, didn't he? Victor Von Doom.
Dr. Doom. In Fantastic Four back in 2005, and then the sequel, Rise of the Silver Surfer in 2007.
Playing a supervillain. That's one way to bring joy to an audience, I guess. Through the excitement.
Yeah, a different kind of joy, perhaps. The thrill of the story.
So, moving away from the screen for a moment, it's always interesting how personal life and background can shape an artist. What did the sources say about his roots?
Well, his background was actually pretty notable. His father was Sir William McMahon.
The former Australian Prime Minister.
Exactly. So a family with a history of being in the public eye, of influence.
That's significant.
And his personal life, he had previous marriages, one to Danny Minogue, the singer,
Right.
and also to Brooke Burns, the actress from Baywatch.
Okay.
And then, of course, his marriage to Kelly Paniagua in 2014. She's the one who shared that touching statement.
Yes.
And he has a daughter, Madison Elizabeth McMahon, from his marriage to Brooke Burns. She's 25 now.
So a full life behind the camera, too. Family.
Absolutely. Balancing that very public career with a private family life.
And looking at the timeline, it's quite poignant thinking about his last recorded public appearance. It wasn't that long ago, March 10th, 2025,
This year.
in Austin, Texas. He was at the SXSW Film and TV Festival.
Okay, what for?
For his movie, The Surfer, he was there with Nicolas Cage, his co-star, rolling out the film.
Wow. So right up near the end, he was still out there promoting his work.
Actively involved in his craft.
That's quite something, isn't it? When you think about what he was likely going through privately,
Yeah.
still showing up, engaging with the audience, with fellow artists, it brings up that question, doesn't it?
Which is?
What does it mean for someone whose job is basically to live other lives on screen, to evoke feelings in us, to keep showing that dedication, that apparent commitment to bringing joy through their work, even when facing huge personal struggles?
Like the private cancer battle he faced.
Exactly. That last appearance, promoting his film, it really speaks to some kind of profound inner strength, maybe, and that core wish his wife mentioned, fulfilling his purpose.
So wrapping this up, what does it all mean? For us, the audience, and for Julian McMahon's legacy, we've done this deep dive, seen his impact through all these memorable roles, and also seen it reflected in those personal values Kelly shared. There's definitely the sense of loss he left too soon.
Absolutely.
But also gratitude, right? For the work, the characters, the joy he created.
Yeah, gratitude's a good word. And if we step back and look at the bigger picture here, it just reminds you, doesn't it?
Right.
Behind every performance, every character we connect with, there's a real person with a whole complex human story. His dedication, even with that private struggle, it highlights that powerful link between an artist's inner life and what they put out into the world.
It really does.
And it makes you consider, what parts of an actor's real self, their actual life experiences, do you think come through the most in their work? What resonates with us?
Is it their resilience?
Maybe. Or maybe it's something hidden, like a private joy or struggle, something that subtly shapes those performances we end up remembering.
It's something to think about.